Oh my God. Damn, you came in here, knit it down. I appreciate you for taking this time. And first and foremost, I want to give you my condolences on your co-worker and friend, the late DJ Mr. C. How you doing?
I'm good, man. My phone has been ringing since it happened last night. My younger brother reached out to me yesterday and was like, "Yo, you heard about C?" I was like, "What you talking about?" And he said, "Yo, man, I heard Mr. C passed away." I said, "I can't be right." And all of the Hot 97 DJs get their hair cut at the same place. So I ain't gonna lie, no fronts for me. I usually color my hair. And myself, Funkmaster Flex, DJ Enough, Mr. C, God Bless the Dead, Cypher Sounds, and Red Alert. We all get our hair cut at the same place, our beards at least, definitely.
Yeah, right.
And on a Thursday, today, I would be going down there and Mr. C would be getting his hair cut, then DJ Enough, then me, or, his day was always Thursday, whether I came on a Wednesday or whatever. So I called our barber, and the barber said, "Yo, man, I heard Ed Lover put it up." So I called Ed Lover and them, and they said it was true. And then I called the program director for Rock the Bells Radio, which is the radio station, one of the radio stations was on, LL Cool J station, and they told me, they were like, "Yo, he didn't hand his mix in on time." And if anybody knows anything about Mr. C, I'm here to tell you, you could set your clock by that man. Legitimately, you could set your clock by that man, and if he would put it like this. If somebody doesn't hand something in at a certain time, they've got to be so clockwork with that for you to say, "Wait up, hold on, it's not here. Why?"
Right.
And then people started calling him and texting him and DMing him, and he wasn't replying. So somebody said, "Go to the house," and they went to the house, and he was in the house. So that's what I know so far. Again, for me, it really hurt bad because this is a man that I've known for 30 years, just in the culture, 25 to 30 years in the culture. Worked a good 20 with him, hand in hand at Hot 97, and out of that 27 years, he was my co-host when I did middays. So he used to do the throwback at noon. It used to be called the old school at noon, and then we started to transition into the throwback at noon.
Right.
And like, you don't understand this man, and this, I know this is a stretch to some people. For me, in my personal opinion, he could be the best hip hop DJ that ever actually existed.
Right. When you say that, that's a grand statement. It's a lot of heavyweights. People that come to mind is like DJ Scratch and DJ Premier. Tell everyone why you feel that way.
Okay, I feel that way for a couple of different reasons. The man's level of consistency, his work ethic, his attention to detail. If you know anything about C, he didn't play with his music. So he was always thinking of different sets, different things to do. One time when he went through his situation he had with the whole getting arrested thing, he came the next day. Everybody thought he wasn't coming to work. Because why would you come to work after that, right?
Right.
He came to work, he didn't speak a word, but he did a whole set just talking with the records that he was playing.
Okay.
You know what you got to do to sit down and go through all of those songs? Number one, you got to have it up here. To go through and put it through and place it perfectly, that might have been one of his greatest mixes ever. Then, when it comes to talking on the mic and rocking a crowd, there is very few people that did it like Mr. C. So for me, as who I am and what I do, when there's 3 or 4 people that I know if I'm on the same bill as them and I gotta go after them, I got to be ready for action. God Bless the Dead, that was Biz Markie. God bless the dead, that was Mr. C, and of course Kid Capri.
Okay.
Them three right there, I know if I got to go on after them, I got to come out the gate flying. I got to be with the shits. I got to be with it, man, because those are guys that really killed the club, and he was great with the mic. He was great with playing record selection, putting sets together. Like I said, consistency, dedication. Like anybody who know Mr. C know this. If you cannot be in the DJ booth with him. So let's say we go to the club, somebody DJ, right? Let's say anybody's DJ Premier, right? You could go on the thing and be like, Primo, what's up? What's good? You cannot play with him. You can't. Like we used to call him the angry DJ. You cannot play with him. I don't care. Listen, I done seen that man kick promoters out the thing. Women, artists, everybody. Like when he's working, don't play with him. So like for me, I've known him so many years. That's such a great relationship. I would go in the booth and I would just hit him on the shoulder and I would turn around and I would bounce, even if I was working with him. Unless I was on the mic, like, what actually we doing the set together, that's what I would do.
Right.
But like I said, man, to me, and that's crazy, man, three of the best that I consider, two of them are not here anymore. And there's a lot of other things you need to look at. He's the man that gave you, and anybody from the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area could tell you the song, Shake That Ass, Girl, Make That Coochie Wet, Shake That Ass. There was a huge song in the culture. Then you had, if nobody else knows nothing, where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? And what the story behind that was, he was Big Daddy Kane's DJ, people. So that was one of the things that made him legendary. They were doing something called the Budweiser Superfest. So this would be it would be Rolling Loud. It would be Rolling Loud of that day.
Okay.
It would be Rolling Loud, right? So they were doing the Budweiser Superfest, and this is at the time when Kane is really at the apex. But he bringing some new cats on, and they invited Tupac to come and rap, and Tupac brought Biggie and Shaheem and all of them. So Tupac had finished rapping, and they gave it to Biggie Smalls. He wasn't even Notorious B.I.G. then. And he was like, anytime you're ready, see it. I got 7 Mac 11s, about 8 38s. That verse will go down in history no matter what. And the chant, where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Everybody's heard that. Am I correct?
Yeah. So he was the person that actually authored that.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
So similar to Biz Markie, he was a collector. So he had the reality is he just had the wherewithal at the time to hit play on the machine. Because if he didn't hit play and save it, he always saved everything, we would have never had that.
Right.
But if you get a chance, you can go to Hot 97 and listen to some of those old throwback and news. You'll see mastery, man. And one of the final things I want to say before, if you want to ask me something.
Yeah.
And I've said this many, many times to many, many people. It's not like I'm saying it today. If I was starting a radio station and I had to pick one DJ, to start that radio station, hands down it would be Mr. C. There's a radio station in New York City called 94.7 The Block. It's a throwback station. And I remember, when they were staffing the people, I kind of work there on weekends from time to time or whatever, because, I'm moving around, I'm doing too many shows, like I can't be in one place at one time. And they were asking me, yo, who should we hire? I said, yo, bro, let me explain something to you. You got one chance to get this right, you better hire Mr. C. And because he's the one who will carry the flag, he's the one who will get out here and get busy, he gets the clubs. He's just one of them dudes that he gets busy. He remembers everything. Another big thing he was good for was people's birthday. He started me on that thing. Like, he knows today is the Brat's birthday, so he'd be like, yo, he shout out the Brat and send him a message or whatever, and he would play all Brat music. Like, Doo-Wop, yesterday, Doo-Wop was just showing a text of when he said happy birthday to him. Remember everybody joint. If you're an artist, he remember your joint, playing all your joints on his set. He was just one of the people like that, man, really about his craft.
Damn. So let me ask you something. When you said he didn't turn in his mix, was you referring to a radio show segment? Yeah. Is that what that's called?
Yeah, it's a radio show. So a mix is basically playing your records and stuff. Now that could be anywhere from 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes. A mix could be any amount of time. But for him, it was the mixes he had to do for the Block, 94.7 The Block, and of course Rock the Bells Radio. So he would be on at noon on Sirius, I believe. I think he might have been on noon at both stations. But
they said Rock the Bells Radio in the comments.
Yeah. So listen. Sean Capri just said C left avoided Rock the Bells Radio. This is an actual fact, man. Like, it's just one of them things. And he didn't hand in his mix. So I remember because I was going to Europe since 1997, 98. So my booking agent booked him to do a club called Tresor in Berlin. And even he called me last night. My old booking agent called me last night. He said, yo, you remember that C was arguing about whether he was like, yo, man, I can't leave until I hand in these mixes. That was his whole thing, bro. That was his whole thing, bro.
Damn. So, I think probably at some point today, you think they'll probably play some of his old telecasts on the radio in New York City?
Yeah. I definitely believe they will. I definitely believe they will. I know the 94.7 The Block will. I know Hot 97 will. Mr. C was also the music coordinator. So there's program director, then there's music director, then there's what's called mix show coordinator. So mix show coordinator is the dude who brings the music to the mixers on the station. So there's mixers. Mixers are DJs. Like Funk Flex is a mixer. DJ Enough is a mixer. Young Child's a mixer. DJ Walla, Drewski, and the list goes on and on. And DJ Camillo, and he was the guy that became the mix show coordinator. He's in charge of the labels giving the music, and then he would determine, this is this. They would have meetings on it, and that's how records get played on the radio. And he was also, for those who are in the New York City, New Jersey area, he was really, really critical and instrumental in pushing Caribbean culture forward. So a lot of those records that were broken on Hot 97, those Sean Paul records, I'm drinking rum and Red Bull, like all those records, of course the soca records, all of those records during his tenure, he was one of the people who was instrumental in bringing Caribbean music into Hot 97. If you want to get technical about it, Hot 97 at the time meant the world. So a lot of those records might not have been broken had he not.
When you were saying, in regards to him turning in mixes, did those three people that you mentioned, did they have to approve the mix? Is that why he had to turn them in?
Well, in the case of Mr. C, you so much of a, at a certain point, nobody approves nothing. When you get on the radio, when you get hired on the radio, at that point, nobody's watching you. Unless you do something egregious like get on the mix and curse and say something. At that point, you've been trusted to get on there and do your thing. And it wasn't about that. You have to get the mix and then you have to post it. So if the person is not there physically to do it, they take your audio and they make sure it's on the radio at that time.
Got it. Okay. So sometimes, if need be, telecasts will happen in absentia. They might actually won't even be in the studio, but because they already turned in the show, they can just play it.
Well, it was like that all the time. And whoever said God is a DJ, no, I didn't. This is, come on, like, y'all gotta cut it out, like, enough. It's so funny that part of this shirt being made was C. It's so funny I got this on. It was inspired by him. But you know,
I just kicked that goofy out the chat, but go ahead.
Yeah, like that's, come on, man. Like, come on.
Corny shit.
We just saying God loves music. Cut it out. Like,
right.
Cut it out. So, you know, it's just, there's nothing else to really say about it. You hand in your mix, you do your thing, and that's it. So think about it this way. You come on, you're one of the more consistent people on YouTube.
Yeah.
If you're not on YouTube for 7 days, I'm gonna be like, what happened?
Everybody will.
Like,
what the fuck's going on?
What happened? What happened here? You know, so you gonna notice that, but think about how consistent you have to be for you to miss one day and somebody say something is wrong.
Somebody notice. Yeah, that's dedication, true dedication.
That's dedication, man. Somebody asked in here, do we know what he died of? We do not know what he died of. One of the things about Mr. C was that he was extremely, extremely private. And, you know, from whatever that was, back in the days with him, with the whole thing with what happened with him and getting arrested and transsexual, whatever that case is, he never really.
We're not doing that. Just the people in the comments that's coming with that type of energy. We having a discussion.
No. Listen. We gotta address it. Check this out.
All right.
Mr. C was one of my really, really good close friends, and at the time, God bless the Dead Sea, but I gotta say it, bro. At the time, there were rumors that, you know, the transsexual things, messing with transsexuals, and you know, Wendy worked with us. Wendy Williams was my mentor. She, you know, everything I know about radio, Wendy Williams taught me. The day that I even grabbed the mic for the first time and said, Hot 97 plays in hip hop and R&B, this is Fat Man School. Like, she was there when the first time I ever talked on the mic professionally, Wendy was what was called my board op and my teacher, because she was teaching me how to do it and everything. And I always had an affinity for Wendy, and she did for me, saved me on many occasions. And she, you know, she was talking about all this stuff on the radio. Now, Gully, remember, we all work together now. So it's not like you talking about the person across the dial on the station. We all working together. Right. So everybody like, yo, what part of the game is this? Like, you can't do this. Like, and we all going back and forth. Yo, that ain't true. Blah 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 blah. Yo, how you gonna do that? Come on, Wendy. So anyway, you know, Wendy gonna do what Wendy gonna do, and you know, it came out in the end that it was true. And I never forget that night that, you know, all same thing. People call me, yo, your man got arrested for this. I'll never forget it. I remember like it's yesterday. I called C and I was like, yo, C, let me ask you a question, bro. And he said, what? I said, yo, man, I just need to know one thing. He said, what? I said, did you mess with kids? Did you mess with kids? He said, what am I mess with kids for? I said, yo, bro, if this is what you do, it's what you do. Live your life, bro. And I said I wasn't on the radio at that time because I had been off. I had gone on to do MTV. I said straight up, and I told people I want him to be more vocal about it. Listen, I do what I do. All right? No matter what y'all say, I'm still the dude that brought y'all the Notorious B.I.G. I was Big Daddy Kane DJ. I did this. I've been legendary on the radio for 25 years. Y'all got a problem? Come down to Hot 97. The address is 395 Hudson. Come see me. And that's the energy that I was on. Right. But you know, he didn't want to do that because he was very, very discreet. However, last week he did an interview with Mano and he talked about it. He was like, yo, I am what I am. Because Mano was kind of, he didn't want to ask him that, but he had to ask him that. And he was like, yo, man, you can ask me. I'm the king of that. So he accepted and once he accepted it, it was good. So another point I want to say, we used to call him the angry DJ. He was always angry. And he was always secretive. Like, yo, man, I don't want people to know. Once that happened and it was out in the air,
Right.
Mr. C became a whole different person. Like, I'm smiling, happy, funny, everything, man. Those are the times, complete 180, because now you live within your life. Like somebody said, it don't matter, the man is dead. But see, here's the thing, people. What I'm not going to do today is I'm not going to let nobody drag his name through the mud about the accusations and what he did. He was a man. He said what it was. That's what a man do. He stand up for it. He say what it is. You don't like it. You don't like it. You don't have to like it. Come see me. And that's what, to me, that's just as much a part of the story as all of the legendary things he did, because he stood up for himself and he was real, and that's keeping it a buck.
No doubt. I want to talk about the Big Daddy Kane record that made me a fan. Raw was like the summer that Raw came out, man. That shit was it was insanity, man. You just heard that shit over and over, every car passing by, and it didn't depreciate. You didn't get tired of hearing it. You could play the record over and over and over. And there was this solo portion when, after Kang said, after he finished his last verse and he said, "I get raw," and then you hear the that was Mr. C.
Yeah. I mean, look, again, man was a technician. Period. That's what, like when you called me to talk about C, you found the right one. Like,
Right.
you actually found the right one. Like, we could go on and on about what this man did. Like, we could go on and on about it, man. And the more important thing to think about, Gully, was he was doing it when you ain't even know what to do with it.
Yeah.
You feel where I'm coming from? Yeah, I'm reading that too as well. Oh, let's
Is
hope
that for
not.
real?
It might be, man.
I got to Google this right quick. God damn, they just fucked my whole train of thought
Yeah,
up.
man, it got me too, man. But
Yeah, rest in peace to O.J. Simpson.
yeah, if that is correct, rest in peace to O.J. Simpson. Now we
I'm
gonna
looking
know
at
that
it.
if Cam and May speak about that, you gonna know that's real.
Yeah, I googled it. It's right here. It's TMZ 3 minutes ago. I think
What
Cam and Mace, they got the last interview from him, didn't they?
ain't that crazy, bro? Like, I mean, and here's another thing, people, that I say to myself. When I heard the news yesterday, and RIP to OJ, y'all can say whatever y'all want about OJ, man, but OJ was a legend as well. When I heard the news yesterday, I was actually setting up my DJ equipment in my crib, and it hurt me in a different way, because this is my dude, right? But I had to say to myself, this is the circle of life, and you have to be prepared for that kind of stuff. All I do now, I mean, because there's things that happen with my family and see. Remember, we worked together for like hand in hand for like 7 years. So funny things that happen with my son. And anybody in New York know, he used to do a club called Speed. And
I heard about
Speed,
Speed.
huh?
Yeah.
You remember Club Speed?
Hell yeah.
He
Heard a
used to
lot
do
about it.
he used to do Speed, and my daughter was maybe, she might have been 2 at the time, 3, no more than 5 tops. She
Right.
came, my kids came to the studio because we had to go somewhere. Something happened, and she walked up to Mr. C, and she knew he was Mr. C, but she said, "Hi, Mr. Speed." When he heard that, he said, take Tiana in the DJ booth. And she said, there's something, she was like, she said, "I'm Tiana, and this is Mr. Speed." And he started playing that on the radio. I remember that. One of the most iconic parties I ever have gone to in my life. On my birthday is August 6th. My birthday and Freeway birthday is the same day. She threw a party for me and Freeway, and Hove came. When I tell you, everybody was in that club like this. There was no, because Speed was already small and it was hot. Like, you couldn't even breathe in there. If they got the session from when Freeway, I think Beans, Hove, I think Memphis Bleak was there, and somebody else did a freestyle and Speed on my birthday for that birthday party, legendary. Somebody got it though, man. Somebody got it.
That's what's up. Damn, this OJ shit just took my whole train of thought. They said he passed away from cancer.
Yeah.
I hope that Mr. C's family, I send them my condolences, and I hope that they maintain strength through this period. And I think that, again, we should all celebrate his accomplishments and his contributions to hip hop. Could you, there's some people in here that's a little younger, could you explain to them in detail exactly what it was that he did for Biggie Smalls? Because Biggie was always saying Mr. C.
Yeah. All right. So, again, when you think of Brooklyn, for anybody who knows hip hop, when you think of Brooklyn, you're gonna think of Mr. C. And Mr. C knew Biggie. They had the tape, gave the tape to Matty C. Matty C's either got in touch with Mr. C directly or Puffy either got in touch with Mr. C or Matty C, either one of them, and that's how you got the Notorious B.I.G. right there. Again, if you've ever been in the club or you ever heard a mix and you heard, where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? That was him too. He produced the record because he recorded the record. And then just all of the legendary work that he's done. Again, like I said, for people who don't understand, one of the most consistent, one of the most dedicated to craft, one of the most just when I think of Mr. C, I think of somebody who's really serious about their craft. And again, like I said, I can say it once, I say it again. When it comes to getting out here and getting with the action, there are only 3 DJs that if I gotta go on after them, I gotta be ready. I'm gonna be back there shadow boxing like Rocky, like, because I know I'm going into the war.
Right.
So like sometimes when you hear other DJs play, cool, you setting your laptop up. But when those Bismarcky, Mr. C, Kid Capri, the 3 that I can think of off top, when you better be with the action.
Yeah. I'm glad you cleared that up on that. Where Brooklyn at? I always thought that was you. I swear.
No,
I always thought that was you.
Gully, that's Biggie. That's Biggie saying, yo, anytime you ready, where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Yo, Jimmy, anytime you ready, yo, I got another Mac 11s about 838 9. That's him. That's Biggie, man. That's early Biggie when Tupac and Big was good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when they was good. So, like before everything happened with the streets and Pac not listening and all that stuff. I don't want to dig into that, but they were good. And another thing that people, if you watch Instagram, everybody said this about Mr. C, and if you didn't know him, this was the truth. He never hated on nobody. He always gave people music. He always put people on the stuff. He always helped people. He never stepped in the way. He never did no stuff like that. And people said that. He put on Young Child, DJ Walla. Who else was in that group? I forget. I know Young Child and DJ Walla for sure was hit Hot 97 because of him. So he put on a whole different generation of people. So yeah. It's a blessing.
Incredible. How long did you say you was at Hot 97 with him?
I was at Hot 97 for 17 to 20 years. And then I was with him directly 7 years out of that time.
And what y'all was doing for that 7 years? Clubs and shows and shit like that?
No. I used to work middays, which was 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay.
So he used to do the throwback at noon, which was the 1 hour between 12 and 1, where you only play throwbacks. So for him to come fresh every day, do certain things, themes and all that, bro, you got to be at that computer thinking. You can't just go and just throw that together. You got to be thinking about it, or at least have enough musical knowledge in your head to be able to do that. But he wasn't that kind of dude. He was a student of the game. He was studying. That's why he was Funkmaster Flex #2.
Okay. Shout out to him. I want
You
to read
you know the way
a.
I would describe Mr. C for those who watch the Wire. He was
Prophecy from
Chris.
Joe.
He was
Who?
Chris. He was Chris Tomorrow.
He said he was Chris. God damn,
He
man.
was Chris Tomorrow. That's the most accurate representation that I could give you. He
Yeah.
was Fletch was Marlo, and Mr. C is Chris. Mr. C is the killer. He's a killer. He the person gonna go out there. We used to call him the Wallop King, the finisher. He was the one to get out there and murder the clubs. I can't say enough good things about C, man. Period.
Right. I want to read a excerpt from his Wikipedia entry. Calvin LeBrun, known professionally as Mr. C, was an American DJ, broadcaster, record executive, and record personality on New York's radio 103.9. Credited with the discovery of both rappers, he guest featured on Big Daddy Kane's debut album and served as associate executive producer for the Notorious Big's debut album, Ready to Die. Damn, I didn't know he was the executive producer.
Think about you sitting.
Associate
Think about
executive
that.
producer.
So think about that. I never even knew that, but think about that. And people was Hot 97 and 94.7 The Block. It wasn't 103.
Yeah.
No, he was on 103. When 103, there was a small station that they had in the interim, and that signal was very, very small. It didn't last that long. That's right. He
Yeah.
was on 103.
All
D.L.
right.
Hughley was on 103 with him.
It said in the early 90s, he gained popularity as a radio DJ showcasing the music of rising artists. His radio shows, Throwback at Noon and Friday Night Live, would air respectively on New York
Yes.
radio stations Hot 97 and WBLS.
Mm-hmm.
During this time, Mr. C discovered the Notorious Big, otherwise known as Biggie Smalls, after meeting the rapper through DJ 50 Grand.
Yep.
He would help record Big's demo and facilitate the deal, which got Big signed by Sean Diddy Combs to Bad Boy Records.
Hold on. So stop. No Biggie Smalls, no what?
Craig Mack did come out first.
Craig Mack, we're not talking about Craig. We talking, God bless the dead, God bless Craig. You know I love you.
It probably would have been a dynasty.
There's your answer.
Rest in peace to Craig. Rest in peace to Biggie Smalls, and rest in peace to Mr. C. Yeah, you got a point, but I remember whenever this topic comes up, I remember that we was Diddy bopping the Flavor in Your Ear for like a month, nonstop, until Biggie dropped, and then we listened to both of them. But Craig was on fire, man. Craig was blistering hot.
Listen, Craig was hot. Listen, okay. So remember, at this time when this is happening, I'm on Hot 97. So I'm actually on Hot 97. So
Right.
My journey starts as a rapper. I used to rap, legitimately rap. And I was signed to Teddy Riley. Teddy Riley, because I'm from Harlem. The deal broke up with him and his manager. Things went wrong. I went to my man DJ Chill Will from the Get Fresh crew, who's my mentor, day-to-day mentor, took us to Puff. Me, my man Sean C, and my man Steve D, who had won the New Music Seminar. It's a big competition for DJing. Like, DJ Scratch was in that. Clark Kent was one of the judges, like anybody who was a competition DJ was in there. So took us to Puff, and Puff wanted to sign me, and that didn't work out. And then I went to be an intern at a record label, and I went to be an intern at my man Diamond D's record label, Chemistry Records. Got out, wound up doing my thing at Tommy Boy Records, running the rap department. I broke. And when I say broke, that means got these records on the radio. Naughty by Nature, House of Pain, De La Soul, Coolio. I was the one who absolutely broke Coolio, made him popular, and went to Hot 97 because I used to work. I used to be bringing my records to the station so much in the morning.
Yeah.
I was there all the time. So I wound up becoming a character on Ed Love and Dr. Dre's show. They had a morning show, one of the biggest morning shows to ever hit hip hop, ever.
Right.
Let me even go back 1 second and say this. There will never in life be a staff ever in hip hop that was like Hot 97 at that time. Ed Love and Dr. Dre won MTV. They were the morning show. You had Bugsy, which was a New York City legend, middays. You had Wendy Williams, right? She was on. You had Angie Martinez behind her. Then Funk Master Flex came on after that. And then Fat Man Scoop, the guy who do records, was the overnight guy. You'll never see that again. You'll never
Dream team,
see
man.
that again.
The dream team.
You
God
will
damn.
yo, bro, you will never. Angie Martinez and Wendy Williams at the same one go on right after the other, then Flex, then me. Never.
Yeah.
You never seeing that again. It's never happened.
Damn. That's a fucking dream team, man. I can imagine. You know, when you incarcerated and shit, the radio was a big thing.
You know
That's
how
a
many people
big
told
thing.
me?
Like people don't. I listened to Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield's fight when he bit him on the radio at Camp Hill State Penitentiary. The radio's a big thing in jail. I could imagine them niggas getting up in the morning, listening to Ed Lover and in Dr. Dre's morning show, and just being on the radio all the whole fucking day. That had to make time fly by.
Bro,
for real.
You gotta understand. After Ed Lover and Dr. Dre came, these guys are superstars. They got movies. They on MTV Raps.
Yeah.
You got Bugsy, who's a New York legend. After that, you got Wendy with the gossip. You got Angie. You got Flex.
God,
and then I'm doing something called I'm doing something called Ignorant Radio at night. I'm talking crazy and doing my thing. There was at least I've had thousands of people come to me and say, "Yo, you got me through jail." Y'all, especially you at night. He was like, at night it was lit because, you know, it's a certain different vibe in jail. He was like, and y'all used to have us laughing, all that, so that there'll never be that. So at that time, as Bad Boy is coming up, you got the Craig Mack record. So it's on the Bad Boy label. That's cool. It's fire. Then you get in the Biggie records, right? That's fire, right? Then you get, you know, little stuff that's happening in the mixtape. So if you go get that Biggie mixtape, the Biggie mixtape where he's rapping off LA beats.
Okay.
You'll hear me in the background. Puff asked me to sound like him. So there's the Diamond Thin Rings and Real Niggas Do Real Things. On the Road to Riches with Diamond. All that mixtape with all those songs on there. I'm on there acting like Puff. Real Niggas for Life. Word up. Like he had me do like at that time, the radio and you know, like the hot record labels were like this. We all used to work with each other. And Bad Boy was so hot after Biggie came out. Anybody could take a record and just, if you had a Bad Boy record in your hand and you walked it up, nobody even listened to it. They just put it on. No, it wasn't even like you had to listen to it.
Yeah, they was on fire like that. It got like that. Everything that came out. Total, Faith, just everything.
Listen. There were nights that a Bad Boy record came through. I can't remember which one, but it came to the desk. It was given to Flex. He didn't even listen to it. On.
God damn.
I'll give you another one. One of the records that I broke, because the Bad Boy era was crazy. One of the records that I broke, and when I mean broke means get on the radio, was a record called Can't You See by Total. Give me all the chicken heads from Pasadena to Medina, like big, get in between them. That record, just for giggles, I had given the record to my daughter. And I told my daughter to walk it over to the DJ. She said, "This daddy said to give you this." Again, on. It wasn't.
think
He looked at the label and it was on.
The early Bad Boy shit was like a fusion of hip hop and R&B, and it was something that was never seen before. Like,
Yes.
them beats, them tracks was just the shit. Like,
well, you know, also that kind of genre of blend mix with hip hop beats and singing. There's a guy you need to go do your research. His name is Fat Doug. Fat Doug was actually the one who kind of put that seed in Puff head to do that. Like the Can I Talk? What's the Jodeci record? Can I talk to me? I really need it.
Yeah.
And they put the EPMD record beat behind it. That Fat Doug was behind that.
That's crazy.
And that was
Come and Talk to Me was the name of the record. Come and Talk to Me. Come and Talk to Me. I believe that was the name of the record.
Fat Doug, if y'all do any research on Fat Doug, Fat Doug was on Uptown. He's one of my good friends, actually. And he was behind putting those beats behind it, and the Puff took that and he just built upon it. And that's what became that. And even look at this. Faith Evans' first album.
Crack.
Go listen. If y'all don't do nothing else, go back and investigate Faith's first album.
Fire. The whole thing. Song Ain't Nobody. That just was just crazy.
Yup. Can't do me like you.
Crazy, man. Banger. For real. Like, yeah.
Listen, you're not gonna find the crack like those. There was a group called Intro. They had a fire album, but they wasn't on Bad Boy, but they had a fire album. That Faith album. If you go back to that first Faith album, that Faith album, you make 3 kids to that album today.
As soon as I get home, it's fire. It was fire. Fire from start to finish. Yeah.
So, like I was saying, back to what I was saying, at that time in music, the Bad Boy label was so fire. Nobody even listened to. You didn't even have to listen. You just got the thing and you could throw it on with complete confidence. It's making some fire, man.
Let me ask you something. When somebody like Mr. C passes away, what happens to his music collection or his laptop, like someone is mentioning?
Listen, man, that laptop is some shit. Excuse me for cursing, but that laptop. I mean, tomorrow I'm going to get my hair cut, so we all gonna be together most likely. That's a great damn question. Who gonna get that laptop?
Yeah.
Because once you get that laptop, you gonna get an idea into what the hell was going on in his mind.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat said, "Rest in peace to Big Bro from Intro." I think his name was Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny. Yo, listen, Kenny. Let me be the one. Yo, see, listen, and this is why I don't want to go there because people start saying, "Oh, you don't like these new dudes." It's not that. These dudes was writing songs. There was melodies. It wasn't the ops. Percocet, yo, I'ma kill him. Yo, Baba. Yeah. It was none of that. It was like you singing real stuff. Listen, the way that I get down, I don't play 3 things: Hitler, Bin Laden, the devil. That's it. Other than that, I'll play anything. I don't care what it is. But when we talking about what's the fire, and that's another reason why a lot of those songs still last.
Yes. I haven't found anything that could, like, just, we mentioned Kenny from Intro, and I was a big fan of Tony Thompson from High Five. Mm-hmm. And I just haven't encountered music that rubbed me. Like Donnell Jones was close. There was some guys that came close that I really liked this shit.
Bro. First Marriage, I was in my Ford Explorer crying because I was getting a divorce listening to Donnell Jones. Like, I couldn't cry to Sexy Red. I couldn't cry to somebody talking about they got gonorrhea. What was that? I was in my car like, yo, it's over. And Donnell Jones, What's the name of that song? If you want, whatever what it was. His first album was fire.
Fire.
And that song will put you in an emotional coma. Why go listen to that? I'm sitting in the car sitting in the car crying. You crying to Sexy Red? No way. No way. They're not bringing those emotions out of you, bro.
Those guys that we mentioned, like you could put those, you could play them because I kept a whip with a big book of CDs and shit, and you could take out a hip hop song and put that shit in, and it won't disrupt the vibe in the whip and shit. Motherfuckers like, yeah, that's that shit right there. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
Keep the
you
keep the
could
party
move.
going and shit.
You could move from any record and then go play Alonzo Hunter, Just the Way Players Play with Keith Murray
That
on
was
that.
my shit.
Like
Did
it's just
Eric Sermon bring Alfonso Hunter to the table?
huh?
Did Eric Sermon have something
I believe it was, because remember, Alfonso Hunter only had one record.
Yeah.
But guess what? That record was the fire. It was the fire.
Fire.
So I mean, like Keith Murray, all these guys, like, I saw Keith Murray maybe about a month ago when we did CIAA. Got up there, did his records, all records still all hit.
Yeah.
What you gonna
They
do?
said, Eric Sermon was the executive producer of that. I knew they was gonna mention Horace Brown. I knew that was next. I didn't want. I was gonna say it, but I knew that was next to come out somebody's mouth. Horace Brown. I knew it.
Horace Brown, Carl Thomas, Case, like these. Listen, I don't want because
them the hip hop R&B niggas. Them is the hip hop R&B niggas. Them.
Listen. Yeah. We do have some good R&B right now, but that level of R&B, and then listen, people, I don't even, because we can get into a music conversation. That's for another day.
Yeah.
Go back to, if you want to go back to the most incredible writing that ever, and I'll get out your way after this, Gully. If y'all want to go back, see, because here's the thing, people, I don't hate on what anybody does. I will go to the club and play polka if it's gonna get the crowd moving. I don't care. Because the DJing philosophy I have is play for women and play what keep the crowd moving. That's it. You don't have to like it. You're not here to like it. You're here to play it and talk over it, right? But if I am a fan of writing, people who write songs and are timeless songs, you could play "Wake Up Everybody" by Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes today, and it actually is what's going on today.
Yeah.
The man said, politicians, stop lying about lying. You understand what you got to be in your head for you to say, stop lying about lying.
Right.
If you want to go and get a masterpiece on how to pick up a woman, any man, go listen to Come and Go to My Place by Teddy P. The man started at the beginning of the record. He was talking to the woman. By the time he turned around, she was in his house. 4 minutes. Nobody thinks that. Don't start me, Gully, because bro, we could go here. The man started by saying, come and go with me to my place.
True Blue Mac, and if you listen to that song, he macked the fuck out of her, took her ass up, got her up out that club, yo.
The man said, Gully, there won't be any kind of pressure. But the whole thing time he
applying pressure.
But he's doing it. He's not saying, yo, come on, you coming out the club, but he's talking. Because remember, but he said, my car's outside. We can leave right now. That's if you're ready to go. I know you just met me, and I would understand it if you just said no, but don't you do that. Get in the car.
You crack me up when you go into. We talked about this song before.
Because it's the most incredible writing that ever existed. I don't love you anymore. The man said, I will take care of my responsibility. You will get your check every month. Depend on that. But me and you can't be together. It's not happening. I don't love you no more. Gully, tell me where we writing songs to get to the point like that.
Highly skilled, man. Rest in peace to him. Rest in peace to Orenthal James Simpson.
Oh, yup. Orange, oh yeah, OJ Simpson. I thought you were talking about Orange Juice Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I know you got to get on that because that's a whole nother story,
That's
man.
a whole nother story, yeah.
Sean Capri, Gamble and Huff. So Gamble and, before I get out of here, Gamble and Huff were the people who wrote those songs and produced them. They still are alive in Philadelphia. I have my man who's their booking agent. I have to go down there and ask them, wait up, hold on. If y'all go listen to a record called Be For Real by Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, at the beginning of the song, Teddy Pendergrass is talking. You can't just make that up.
You know who used that? You know how I came in contact with that song, Be For Real?
How?
Ghostface Killer made a video. It was probably like 5 minutes. It was directed at Action Bronson. This was when Action Bronson was still in his voice and shit. And that's how he started it with that record, man. And he was like, you know, nigga, be for real.
Yo, listen, let me tell you something. Some of the best writing that ever took place in life was in the Motown era and the Philadelphia International Records era. Listen, I listen to that every day because I like good writing. Do I listen to the new music? Yes. Do I listen to the ignorance? Yes. But when I'm listening for my own personal, listening to that, man.
No doubt. I appreciate you. Tell them where they can find you at on Instagram so they can tune into your show when you go live and all of that.
Simple, man. On Instagram at Fat Man Scoop, on YouTube at Fat Man Scoop, on TikTok at Fat Man Scoop, wherever Fat Man Scoop. It's all there. And if you want to join my live when I go live, because I'm gonna start going live again, right behind me, fatmanscooppromo.com/go live. You can join the list, get on there.
No doubt. I love your headpiece, man. It's incredible.
Yo, bro, I like this, man. Like I even said, so people, I used to rap, and my man Diamond D asked me to do a record, and I was rapping in the record, and at the end I said, "What? Hold on, I move solo cock bolo." You know the logo with Sholo. I move solo cock bolo with 6 bad chicks wearing Manolo on the strip. When I'm catching a lick, I be out with my PA chick, rocking my PA knit. Simple.
Talk that shit, man. I'm out of here, man. Y'all catch me later on. I'm gonna, go do a little bit of referencing on OJ and shit, but that's gonna be a big, big thing. It's actually gonna drown out the Mr. C news.
It happens in threes, bro. Happen in threes.
Yeah. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in this morning, man. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram at I am Gully TV _. I'm on Twitter at Gully TV 1. And rest in peace to OJ and rest in peace to DJ Mr. C. I'll catch y'all later. Peace. Boom, 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 boom.